Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Why do we always giggle after we do that?
I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is.
It's a kind of a habit. And then we both fiddle with our microphones.
That's it.
But we've
yeah.
already fiddled with them
We
before we've
have.
actually started. So it's like these habits that we've got into.
Very, very true. Yes, that's it. So, we've not spoken on the podcast, just you and I, for a little while.
I kind of miss it, actually.
Yeah, me too. So we thought, bearing in mind we're coming into winter, we're coming up to Christmas, we thought that we would talk about some tips and some thoughts on people's emotions and feelings coming up to Christmas.
And it's funny because Dave and I went shopping the other day, and he had to take a business call halfway through the day. We were on holiday, and he said, I've got to take this call. So we took this call, and I went off on my own and walked into a shop and burst into tears.
Really?
And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I can't still be doing this after this length of time.
Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Why do we always giggle after we do that?
I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is.
It's a kind of a habit. And then we both fiddle with our microphones.
That's it.
But we've already fiddled with them before we've
have.
actually started. So it's like these habits that we've got into.
Very, very true. Yes, that's it. So we've not spoken on the podcast, just you and I, for a little while.
I kind of miss it, actually.
Yeah, me too. So we thought, bearing in mind we're coming into winter, coming up to Christmas, we thought that we would talk about some tips and some thoughts on people's emotions and feelings coming up to Christmas.
And it's funny because Dave and I went shopping the other day, and he had to take a business call halfway through the day. We were on holiday, and he said, I've got to take this call. So we took this call, and I went off on my own and walked into a shop and burst into tears.
Really?
And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I can't still be doing this after this length of time. I knew what it was about. It was obviously about James, and it was like that. All those memories flood back, and it's funny. I mean, it's there every day, but that one day when you do something and you feel a little bit exposed, it just comes to the head. And I know I'm not the only person that feels like that. No. I cannot possibly be the only person that feels like that. And I spoke to Victoria about it on the phone, and she went, oh, Mum, she said, I know exactly how you feel. And it is like that, but it's like that for a lot of people that, Christmas is a family time. And when you've lost a family member, and then on top of that, people are lonely, because they've either estranged from their family or somebody, I don't know, whatever your circumstance, or you've got to work or stuff. It is a tough time. Christmas is not the easiest of times.
No, that's very true. Yeah. All for people from all walks of life.
And it's like, it's also, and it's that bit, isn't it, too, with, well, where am I going to spend Christmas Day? Do I spend it with that people? Do I spend it with those people? Do I do that? Do I do this? Where do I go? Who wants me? Who doesn't want me?
That's it. And lots of people have different ways of dealing with it. I know some people who, they haven't got a family nearby, and they treat Christmas Day like any other day, and they don't make a big thing of it. But that must be really hard for them as well.
Well, yeah, it is, because society sees it as a big deal. I mean, I was in the supermarket the other day and in Sainsbury's, and they were going, and this is our top 30 for Christmas. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute, we're still in November. We haven't even had bonfire night out of the way yet. Like, give us a break. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's in your face. You can't get away from it.
No, you can't. That is very, very true.
And they started putting Christmas stuff on the shelves way before November the 5th.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's always the way, isn't it? They always seem to do that.
And I just find that a little bit tough, really. I find it tough now. I didn't find it tough before. I think I went through a stage when I was younger, when I had the children, and I did find it a bit tough because I had no money. I was a one-parent family, and it was difficult, and you think, oh, I've got to find money to do this and money to do that. And there is a pressure that you provide for your family. But actually, you're not. I wasn't in a position where I could. So we used to just make gifts. And I think very often people expect a big gift. Whereas the kids and I used to make homemade chocolates and homemade biscuits, and we would give them out as gifts. And people were so grateful for something that was homemade. And I think that's a lovely way of doing things, rather than feeling that you've got to stretch your purse to get a credit card debt, and before you know it, you're in a pickle in the new year.
Yeah.
It's just like keeping it simple.
I think you're right. It's homemade gifts can be so lovely.
Yeah.
They come from the heart. Like you said, they're not expensive to do. And at Christmas, it's not always about gifts. It's about spending time with people, having fun with people, playing games, and doing all of those kind of things. It's not about, see who spends the most money.
But you're a single man at home, so in your own home, you're not with mum and dad and brothers and sisters. So what do you do in those circumstances?
So I go to my mum and dad's house, usually help with the cooking or do the cooking, which I really enjoy. I really enjoy doing that because actually it's about being in the middle of the house, as it were, where the hub and hive of activity is, and creating something that the family are going to enjoy. And I really enjoy that. The bit I struggle with the most is between Christmas and New Year, because I'm a bit of a workaholic and I like being busy. And actually between Christmas and New Year, there's very little to do because everybody else is off. Nobody wants anything or to do anything. And also it's important that you do stop, rest and relax. So the last couple of years, I've spent time with some really good friends of mine. We quite often go away and do something, whether that's, we go on a little mini staycation, or we go to each other's houses, and we quite often cook for each other, and just have a nice time, play board games and things like that. And I really treasure and enjoy those moments. It's really good fun.
I think it's an important point, isn't it? But I think you've got friends and you will do that with them. But what happens to the people that don't have friends and feel very isolated?
I think that is definitely where it's more difficult. People that have limited friends or limited family, or they live a long way away. That is really difficult, and I think that's where it can be really hard. And I think if you know of people like that, it's really important that you do make a phone call, send a message or an email, or indeed knock on their door and check in on them, make sure they're okay, ensure that they're having a good time, even if they're treating Christmas as a non-event and they're not doing anything. Just make sure that they're okay. I think it's really important.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also feel that I'm a great. We've always got people at our house, and there's always somebody here, and I'm always happy for people to come. But it's interesting that as a family, we have had people come at Christmas, but I would be happy to have anybody here at Christmas. It doesn't bother me. I think some of the family members just want it to be family. They don't just want it, they don't mind extended like you or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know on Christmas Eve, everybody comes to us on Christmas Eve, which I love that. William organises it and I love it. And I could extend that out to be more people, but I don't, because actually I don't really want to, if I'm honest with you. But it is that point where, do you ever consider the person next door? Or in fact, you could go and do some voluntary work if you were on your own. There's lots of people out there that do Christmas lunches on the day, hospital visits, all of that kind of stuff that get involved within the community. The church often will do something locally. Even just going to a church service, even if you don't believe, you're still part of a community in that situation, aren't you?
Yeah, and I think that's really nice as well, is to go and do things in your community to keep you busy, doing some good.
Managing your mental health is, when there's a vulnerable time coming up for you, is so vitally important, in the sense of, are you having your therapy? Are you engaging properly with your therapist? Are you actually going to your support groups? It's like our coffee and chats, isn't it? We have our Christmas fair at the end of November, because there isn't a last Saturday of the month. Nobody's going to turn up for our Christmas fair. It's over and done with by then. But, there's loads of people that go. I mean, stacks of people that go to the one in Burnham. It's great.
Oh yeah, our Christmas coffee and chat in Burnham-on-Sea is by far the busiest one throughout the year.
Yeah.
And it's lovely to see so many members of the community and local businesses that support that. Yeah,
they do a good job. But that's that bit, isn't it? It's about preparing yourself for the day, because it's only one day.
It is, and I think sometimes people forget that. It's not loads and loads of time. It's not, you don't need all this food and all these gifts and all this stuff to make the day special. Like I said, you can have a normal day, have your normal meals that you would have, and it's about who you spend the day with or what you spend the day doing, I believe.
I think if I was single, I would probably, I don't know, I think I'd probably go and do voluntary work. I probably would be invited to other people's houses. I know I've got enough friends that they would do that, but I think I'd probably just go off and do something, or even just go for a great big long walk and take a picnic. I think that always kind of seems exciting, and get away from the world in a different way.
That's a really good idea, actually. I hadn't thought of that.
Just wonder if we should set up a walking group on Christmas Day. I'm
That's-
sure there's somebody out there that's doing it that could just let us know.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. And I'm sure there's people who would be interested in doing that. Yeah, a little walk somewhere.
And I think the other thing about you is making sure you've got enough medication. If you are on medication, make sure it's there, because they close. I mean, is it Christmas Day on Wednesday this year or Thursday?
I can't actually remember.
Should we look?
Check the calendar. I'll check the calendar. Christmas Day this year is a Thursday.
Yeah, which means there'll be
it's a long weekend.
Thursday, Friday, bank holiday, Saturday, Sunday. People won't. Chemists to be open will probably be. So it is about preparation. It's about your mental health and making sure you've got enough medication to get you through your. And then you've got the New Year, haven't you?
You have, yeah. So obviously, New Year's Eve is the Wednesday. New Year's Day is the Thursday. So again, yeah, it's potentially a relatively long weekend for people if you don't have medication or whatever.
What do you do on New Year's Day?
New Year's Day, usually very little, to be honest. No, not particularly hungover. I think it's more a case of it's almost a bit of. I think I tend to find it's an anticlimax to all of Christmas. Really,
right, okay.
New Year's Day is the day when I have put the Christmas tree up. It's usually when I take it down.
Really?
Sort of, yeah, and sort of have a big clear up from Christmas. Throw away any cardboard boxes and rubbish, and the food left over from Christmas Day or that period. And just get everything ready for the start of the new year. I tend to quite look forward to New Year's Day because I know that
you're back to work.
We're back to work, and it's the start of a new year and new challenges and new adventures and all of those kinds of things. Yeah. How about you? What do you do?
Well, I don't. I leave the decorations up because I'm a bit of a traditionalist, but I think I'm going away from that.
I know people that take their Christmas decorations down on Boxing Day.
I know. I could do that. I like it too much. And the kids like it as well. So I think it's nice for the kids. And I think I'm a bit of a kid deep down. So I quite like leaving them out as long as possible. But now we've moved, I don't know what I'm going to do because it's all changed. And I don't know how I'm going to decorate the house because I had a tradition in the previous house. I've been there for 27 years. So I kind of did it a certain way.
Well, it's about creating new traditions, isn't it, this year? Now you're in your new home and all of that.
And we're going to have a great big Christmas tree, apparently.
Are you?
Yeah, Dave said.
One that goes all the way up to the top of your ceiling?
All the way, which is massive.
Wow. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I want to know where we're going to put it.
Yeah, that should be good. Is it going to be a real tree?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you know how expensive the synthetic ones are?
Well, synthetic and real ones are very expensive.
But the synthetic Christmas tree, a standard, say, 6-foot Christmas tree, we were up in, Annie and I were out, and it was like £360.
Oh, you can get them for a lot less than that.
I couldn't believe
that comes back to, doesn't it, about, it's not about spending loads of money, but I do know that real Christmas trees are very expensive. A friend of mine is, he has a real Christmas tree every year. That's what he wants. And last year, he bought this tree that was way too big because, of course, when you're out cutting down your Christmas tree, you don't really think about how big it is compared to your house. And he bought this tree that was way too big, but he paid something like £80 for it. And you just think that's a lot of money. No wonder synthetic trees are so popular.
Well, I always have a Christmas tree, a live Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So in the garden, they're all still in pots, so I can bring them in.
Oh, that's a good idea. So I
have, I think I have 5.
Yeah,
5 or 6 in the garden that I just pull in. The boys lift them in.
But this year, that's not. None of those are going to be big enough for what you're looking for.
Not for in here because I think they'll get swamped in here.
Yeah, you could fit all of them in this room.
I'm quite excited, really, about it, if I'm honest. But yeah, so I think preparation and planning is really important. And I also think people that haven't engaged in therapy or need some help need to do it. Get on somebody's books as quickly as possible. Come to the charity, you get your 12 sessions only and get somebody to talk to. Don't be sat there lonely. There's no need for it at all.
No, that's very true. And yeah, we anyone can refer themselves in our local area, the Sedgemoor area, simply by going to the website, somewherehousesomerset.org, click on self-referral. And you can also refer friends, family.
But tell them, please.
Yeah, but yes, you can do that. You can also ask your doctor to refer you or anyone else that you're working with.
Yeah, and we do get a lot of referrals from GPs,
schools,
schools, kids,
social workers.
And
everything.
I think the mental health team, we do see quite a lot from there as well. They refer people on that they just feel that they can't do any more for them.
Yeah. And importantly, if we can't help someone, we'll let them know and we'll try to signpost them to where they can get help or support from.
I think one of the things that people have to recognise is that we're fortunate we don't have a particularly big waiting list, so people get in quite quickly. But, don't wait, because don't wait until you're desperate. But if you're struggling. And very often people leave it too late and then they end up like in a pickle. And it's better to do it, even if we had an email the other week that somebody said I don't think I'm unwell enough. And it's like, no, it's not about that. It's not about being unwell. If you feel that you need to talk to somebody, just send a referral form in. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's no competition about how awful your life is.
No, that's very, very true. And it's a bit like you're talking about New Year's resolutions. They don't have to start on the 1st of January. If you are struggling and you think you need some support, then fill out our referral form, come to a coffee and chat, or come to the drumming circle, or any of the events that we have, and come and talk to somebody. You don't have to wait.
I know, and it's quite interesting because a lot of people out there do approach people at the coffee and chats and ask for help and stuff like that, and it really does work. I'll fill out the referral form. The counsellors will do that when you come along, and don't hesitate. But it's a little bit like the nervous person that comes to a coffee and chat, doesn't know what to expect, and then finds actually this is really good fun.
Yeah.
I mean, especially now Becky's brought the bingo in on a Saturday at Burner.
How does that work? Do you know? Tell us more about how that works. I've not been to see it.
But to be honest, neither have I. But basically, Becky made a decision. She thought she'd do a bit of volunteering and do some bingo at the coffee and chat. So she ended up, she's always done it. She's done the bingo in the community for quite a long time.
Okay.
So it's not anything new. So but has not done it at the coffee and chat. So what happens is she does it. She comes along, gives it people. I think they pay £1 or something I don't know. I really don't know. Mandy's better telling you this story than me. But they have such a laugh.
Which is great.
It's not serious. It's just a bit of fun. And you see the pictures, because Mandy sends us pictures and you post them, don't you?
Yeah, we put them all on our social media, Facebook.
And it's really funny. You can see everybody takes it really seriously. They're all quiet. But there's people in there that didn't want to do it. And then Mandy persuaded them, gave them a couple of books and said, go on, have a go. And they had to go, and they come back every month.
And they love it.
Now. Yeah, they love it.
Oh, that's so good, isn't it? And it's great that we have these initiatives to encourage people.
It's just getting you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Definitely.
I think that's it. I can't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody yesterday or today. We were talking about therapy, and they were saying, in this country, there's a stigma behind going and talking to a stranger. Whereas if you're in America and you're not talking to a stranger, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like I've done a lot of work in America, and many people that I've spoken to out there, it's like, it's not normal. You have to have a counsellor, and it works. But sadly, we still have that stigma. And I think it's harder for men.
For sure. Yeah. I think you're probably right there.
Do you find that hard to talk to somebody?
Yeah, for sure.
Or have I nagged the living hell out of you that you have to?
Well, you do, yeah. But no, I think you're right. It's I think it's a lot harder for people to I don't think it's just counselling or therapy or anything like that. I think men in particular struggle with a lot of things. Even if they're unwell, I think they struggle with booking an appointment with a doctor. Certainly I've seen that in other people I know, who they put things off to a point where actually, they should have gone 3 months ago. They're now in agony, and they should have gone 3 months ago, and it wouldn't have been as bad. And it's the same for lots of services like that, where I think they just don't have the confidence, or they're scared, or whatever. And it's a shame. And I'm not sure how we, as a society, can do much to get past that, other than be more welcoming and supportive of people.
I'm rubbish. If I'm sick, I'm rubbish. I don't call the doctors. I will just sit it out until such time I can function. And I know I am one of those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will ask for help.
Yeah.
It's a catch-22, really. But I think sometimes people don't want to be a burden.
I think you're right.
I know certainly for me, I feel that I'm a burden a lot of the time if I'm asking for help from people. And I'm really independent. And being dependent.
Yes.
If you see what I'm saying, if I'm then become dependent on others, I've found it really.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. And I think there's lots of people that struggle with that. And I think, as a society, the only thing we can do is try and be more supportive and more welcoming.
Do you think there's a divide between the male and the females in that sense?
That's a very good question. I think not, that I am a white male. I don't know how a woman feels, so I don't know, but I don't think there is. Certainly in the area that I live and work, I'm not convinced there is. Certainly it's not as prevalent as in other places.
I'm divided too,
Yeah.
because I think we get a lot of referrals from men.
Yep.
And I don't know why that is. I'm not sure. We get lots of females, but we do get a lot of guys.
Yeah, I think we probably get slightly more referrals from men, which I think is very good. It shows that actually we are welcoming and supportive of men that perhaps need us, which I think is fantastic.
Do you think our suicide prevention cards help that?
I think definitely. I think the suicide prevention cards that are specifically about men's mental health, I think they've made a huge difference. And I love going to places and seeing them. You know, you go to the tool hire shop, you go to the builder's merchant, you go to all of these different places and you see the Somewhere House men's mental health cards in what is typically male dominated places that they go. And it's fantastic to see those cards there and see the people picking them up, questioning them. What are they? I think that's really good. Really, really good.
And one of the things that I found, I mean, I was at the doctor's this morning and there was a coffee and chat flyer on the board, and I thought, I made sure it was really tidy and made sure it had 4 pins in each corner. And I just thought, it is nice that we are out there and people are seeing that and they're given the option to get support.
Yeah, I think that's very true. And I think kind of almost circling back to people that are perhaps struggling over the Christmas period, I think, we're always looking for volunteers. So, if you are out there and thinking, perhaps you are a little bit lonely or you want to help or anything like that, we're always looking. And it can be as simple as going to your local doctor's surgery, community hall, community notice board, whatever it is, and putting up one of our flyers and making sure it's there and for other people. We're always looking for people like that can do little things to kind of help promote the charity and help others.
Yeah, because this morning I did think it was quite sad that the doctor didn't have any of our leaflets on his desk.
Oh, really?
And I know for a fact that the person that was in there before me was sobbing their heart out and was really sad and was really struggling. And I thought, actually, that person may have needed that kind of support. And because the doctor didn't have any at hand, and I just think that's really sad, because I just think there is help out there. And we're not the only organisation out there that gives help. There's plenty of other organisations out there that give help. But it's nice when it's your organisation that gives that help back. I always think it's quite nice.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
The other thing is, I think is hobbies.
Yeah.
We had this amazing bag of goodies given to us by a lady who knitted like little characters.
Yeah.
There was loads of them. We've still got some in the Christmas hampers. And
nice.
People have been buying them at the coffee and chats and things like that. And that is just wonderful. In fact, the grandchildren saw them yesterday when they came over. Granny, please, can we have one? Yes, you can. I'll pay for them. And it's like, but it's not simple because that's a dedicated person.
Yeah, has made
and
the effort.
It was an off-the-cuff email that she sent to me, and I responded and I said, oh, yes, please, that would be wonderful. She dropped them off at Barrow Road, and she dropped them off, and we've used them, and we're going to be continuing to use them.
That's amazing.
And it raises funds, but it also gives that lady some purpose to what she's doing. Because some people are really clever out there, but they sit there with a load of stuff that they've made, and they don't know what to do with it.
No, that's it. And there's people out there who want to do that kind of thing. It's been really great, actually. We've had some fantastic offers of donations, and we've received donations for the Christmas fair from some of our social media posts. And it's been great chatting to some of those people about that. And hopefully more of that is going to happen, which is amazing.
But did you think 10 years ago that you'd be sat here doing a podcast about a charity that you've been heavily involved with for many years?
That's a very good question. I think the answer to that is no. But yeah, it's been a great journey. It's been great to see the charity grow and be supported by so many people and different organisations. I think that's really good. Yeah, long may it continue.
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? You want to carry on as much as we can, really.
This is it. And, I think it's fair to say funding is always difficult. It's been particularly difficult this year. And I hope that 2026 becomes slightly better in terms of funding. It's an interesting world that we currently live in. And I don't think it's going to get any easier for people.
No. And I think particularly the young generation, we see a lot of young people that are kind of lost.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and I was just going through the referrals that have just come through, and you think, oh my gosh, I wouldn't want that to, you know, I don't want that child to feel like that. I don't want them to feel bullied at school or whatever their circumstances are at home. And it's like, and I feel for the parents as well who are trying to manage that situation, you know, and know how to move forward in that situation. And I think that's one thing the charity's been able to do, is to bring those families together to a certain degree, even if it's in individual therapy. But that, I'm quite proud of the fact that we've done that.
Yeah, no, it is fantastic.
I mean, I think the other thing is volunteering doesn't mean you have to make something or go to something. It can actually mean that you could just become a trustee if you want to.
Exactly, yeah. Just give some time to help kind of manage and run the charity would be fantastic.
Yeah, take a bit of pressure off me.
And me.
Which bit do you want to give up?
Oh, I don't know. It's a good question.
It is a tough one, isn't it? Because there does come a point when you go, actually, I can't keep doing what I'm doing all the time. It's hard work. I love this. This is the best bit, I think.
Yeah. It's good fun. Definitely good fun.
It is good
I agree.
Fun. So if you could just bring all of that together as a learning tool, what we've talked about, what would you think is the top three things for somebody to get themselves through this festive period?
Well, I think number one has got to be talk to people, whether that's your neighbour, whether it's somebody at something like a coffee, a chat, a family member, a friend. It could even be someone at the checkout at the supermarket. But talk to people, you know, ask them how they're feeling, share how you're feeling. And I think, you know, if you are struggling, you know, reach out to our charity or another charity that's providing counselling. I think that's got to be number one. What's your number two?
Give back.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lovely saying in AA that says we only keep what we have by giving it away. And I do truly believe that if you give, you will receive. And I think giving back in some way to another or others, and people don't need to know you're necessarily doing it, just gives you that warm, fluffy feeling inside your tummy, and it's always worth it.
Yeah.
I remember one year, I don't know if I've ever told you this, I'm sure I probably have, and I've probably shared it on the podcast, but we were talking many moons ago, and I was working for the mental health services at the time. And there was a family that I was working with, and they literally had nothing. They were a beautiful family, had a really difficult time, had to move very suddenly. And I remember thinking, and Dave and I didn't have much then, and I just remember going to Lidl's and literally filling the bags up. I literally did this great big shop and put it on their doorstep. To this day, they don't know it's me. And I just think sometimes you can help a family do that and help the kids. And I know, because I knew this person, and I went to see them, and they said, you can't believe this, what happened. We had the best Christmas. And I never told them it was me, but that feeling that you get inside is just amazing. And it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It can be, like, I think we had somebody on our podcast, Katie was on the podcast, and she said she puts daffodils on.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just a small gesture, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is. So I think that's my number two. What's three? Do you want to write?
It's a good question. I don't know if I've got a number three right this second. Have you got a number three you can think of?
Well, prepare.
Yeah.
Prepare. Make sure that you're prepared, and for anything that might come up. Even if somebody invites you, say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very easy to go, oh, no, because you think they're inviting you for the wrong reasons. But no, they're not going to invite you if they don't want you there.
That's very true.
So say yes. And if you can afford it and you can go away and have a nice holiday on the slopes, go. Or in the sun, go. Just do it.
Yeah.
Spend the money. You can't take it with you.
It's very true. Very, very true.
So that would be my top three.
I like that.
Our top three.
Our top three. Sounds good. Well, we'll end it there then.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you.
We'll see you all in 2026.